February 16th, day 8. Solving puzzles, hunting for clues, maybe even making progress towards Mr. Beast's $1 million prize. Let me just make sure we're live here. This always takes a sec to pop up. Hint number 8 just went live today around 4 p.m. Eastern, maybe like 4:15 is when I became aware. And for people that wanted a big clue and people that wanted, real progress, I think we're finally getting all that. So I'm excited to take a look. Let me just make sure this live stream is working. It's not popping up. Why is it not popping up? Did I go live on the wrong site? It's possible. Nope. Alright, I think we're gonna try again. I don't know. That is weird. Oh, there it goes. Alright, we are live. Does the audio work? God, I'm always such a mess at the beginning of these streams, but we will get it rolling here. February 16th. Alright, yeah, it's live. I don't know why that took forever.
What is going on, everybody?
Alright, so let's take a look here. Hint number 8 is live. And like I said, this one is actually progress. We're making progress here. February 16th, welcome to stage 2. Like we said, stage 0 was us looking for locations to find in stage 1. Stage 1, we then found locations. We think it's 51 locations we were looking for. So we're now on to stage 2. He said, because you're giving us your guesses in your puzzle cards, we now see you are ready for stage 2. Some of you are making considerable headway in this $1 million puzzle. Things are cracking all over the place. Good job. So for whatever reason, for what we've been doing in Slackbot, now lets them know we're ready for stage 2. My guess was that this was us filling out these answers, earning these milestones, and that's what prompted stage 2. But we're still not positive on that. And he said stage 2 will be populated by the progress you share with Slackbot. I don't fully know what that means. It could be similar to with our Sudoku puzzle, how we got this link from Slackbot. I'd say that part remains to be seen. Anyways, hint number 8. Take your 50 locations in your crossword to Beast Travel and go on many a wild vacation. The world is at your fingertips. Adventure is out there. If you're ready to check in, then your end game is near. So a few things here. First of all, these stage 1 answers he refers to as 50 locations and your crossword, as opposed to just calling them 51 locations. So that I never understood why the crossword was separate, and so maybe there is something different to it than the 50 locations. I just kind of wanted to note that he's talking about these separately still. And he's saying take them to Beast Travel and go on many a wild vacation. So within minutes of this coming out, people found this website. The URL is beast.travel. And it definitely seems like this is the website that we're supposed to be finding for this hint. As you can see, this is a Lone Shark Games symbol up here for the URL, made with love by Lone Shark Games. And point being, even if someone were to make a fake website to try to mess with people, this was found minutes after this clue came out. So even within a minute of it coming out. So I definitely think it's real, and I definitely think it's important. So we're going to get into this. I think we'll probably spend the majority of the stream talking about this. Different puzzles on here. Trips by car that we'll look at. Trips by horse. Trips by plane. A lot of this I don't know what it means yet, but we'll go through it. It also says Romy, which I'm assuming is this guy. Romy says, book your $1 million journey today or chat with other travelers in our Discord server. Recommend everyone does join this Lone Shark Games Discord server. There's been a lot of good conversations happening in here. All you have to do is enter your username, just check off all these boxes, let them know you're not going to break any rules, and then once you click here, it'll just send you to another website that has just a link to join. So a lot of good conversation going on in there. A lot of people are having discussions in that server, so definitely recommend joining that. Like I said, we're going to go through this website for a majority today. Kind of just want to talk about everything else so we can focus on this. Yesterday we found out that the Sudokus seem to be really important. Don't know why yet. I just want to talk about those again briefly because I don't want to forget about them. But I haven't actually seen anything concrete yet on what we're doing with these. We know everyone got assigned a random puzzle. So the puzzle I got might be different than the puzzle you got, but someone else might have the same as me. So it's a bunch floating out there. We don't know how they connect. We don't know if there's a pattern we're looking, if we're supposed to combine them in some way. And I do just think it's really interesting that this Sudoku website like refers to it as like classified document, destroy after solving. Just makes it seem like this is a very secretive thing, but then we're also like being instructed by Mr. Beast to work as a community, put these together, and not destroy it after solving, but share it. I don't know if that has anything to do with the solution, but it is just interesting that it seems counterintuitive to what he's telling us on that. Other things that I have here, we went over this website yesterday, which a few people had asked for the link for. A lot of good info on here. So 51 locations. Let's just see where they're at. They said 22 confirmed, 6 probable, 1 disputed, 2 unconfirmed. And they're filling out a lot more of these answers as time's gone on. Also have 1,000+ Sudoku puzzles collected from that website with fingerprint mappings. Let's take a look at this. This looks interesting. A lot of people were looking to get a copy of as many of these as they can to try to find stuff on their own and see how they combine. This person literally took PDFs from as many people as they could find, and they're all here. So I don't know if they actually came to any conclusions, but if you want to look, I mean, there's so many here. What do they have? 1,100 of them? And usually large index. Interesting. I have no idea how these could connect, but if you want to take a look, they're all here. They said 1102 fingerprints sampled. They range from 102,592. Yeah, a lot of people have theories on how these connect. I still haven't figured it out. I don't know what you guys think, but a fingerprint is a 36 string client side, full space. You have no idea. One thing I didn't mention yesterday, on this site is that they do have a Discord server link at the bottom here, and it was at the top as well. I've noticed some good conversations happening in this server. I said yesterday, it seemed like this was one that's on the up and up, so definitely recommend joining that one as well. So we'll take a look there. How the Sudoku puzzle system works. Seems like a new session always goes to 271829 now. This was a theory I saw last night, so let's look at this. Is that what I got on mine? 271829. So they're right. So new sessions are now all going to the same puzzle, whereas the first day people were getting different ones as time went on. With PDF index of 271828, Euler's number. I keep seeing people talk about this. What is Euler's number? Oh, it's E. Okay. When you're in math class, it's like E, and it's 2.71828. Okay. Got it. So they think this is similar, which it would round up to this, right? 828. 828. I guess it wouldn't round up, but anyways, it's always at this sketchy website that I'm gonna go look at and get a virus from, probably. Don't know what they're looking at there. This is something on the back end maybe, but you can't directly open it because you need a key. PDF index is an index returned from the server when requesting a new puzzle. The mechanism seems to be new users have joined, and each user got assigned a new fingerprint, which was mapped to a PDF. After a certain number of users, hundreds of thousands, the server decided to only assign this 271829 for all unique fingerprints, but no other puzzle. That may be why they said you need 1 million friends, because they needed hundreds of thousands of unique fingerprints to get to this final 271829. There have been claims that the PDF numbers were sequentially incremented. Seems like it started around 100,000. I did notice that as well. This may have been a way of slowing our progress. However, PDFs with indices higher than this 271 have been uploaded. What we can deduct, this is the one we should be looking at the most likely. It corresponds to the PDF index of Euler's number, roughly. Obviously multiplied by, this is from the computer screen, so maybe that is used somehow. This is interesting. I hadn't read all this myself. I am now getting this puzzle, so check it and see if that's what you're getting as well. Maybe this one is important. We never really knew what he meant yesterday when he said you need friends with this puzzle, maybe 1 million of them. It does seem possible that, you know, 1 million of these had to be loaded before the final one came through or something like that. I never really understood what he meant by you need 1 million friends, so that at least seems reasonable to me, but who knows at this point. Let's just look if there's anything else on here. Community groups, other links you guys might have, Reddit, Slack. I think we're in all these servers already, so a lot of good resources on this website. Other places that we looked are Lone Shark Games socials here on the B-Sky. I did also look at Salesforce's socials. I didn't see anything. But Lone Shark Games, we know that they're always posting here on B-Sky. They just posted this 2 hours ago. They said hint number 8 is live. What the heck is Beast Travel? My question exactly. And then they just posted a screenshot of the hint here. I thought this was interesting as well. They said, welcome to stage 2 of the $1 million puzzle. We promise it isn't exactly like the Thunderdome. A little Thunderdome-y, maybe a lot. So I don't know, just with this being like italicized, and it seems like this could be something with a clue relating to Thunderdome. I know in our crossword, one of the answers was like a volcano and it was Lava Dome. Thunderdome, I don't know if that's like a Mad Max thing or what, but this one, I don't know if it's a clue, but it just stuck out to me as being potentially something. And then beyond that, it was just stuff from yesterday, so not a whole lot there. I apologize, I keep needing to take a sip here. Got a dry mouth apparently. Let's just keep looking here. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, where is it? They do talk about it here. Hint number 6 has been updated. Give it another glance to see if it helps you get unstuck. Some people did notice that at the bottom of hint 6 it said this hint was updated on February 15th. And just looking at it, it was like, that looks exactly the same to me. I did put them side by side using, here in the Mr. Beast Files Google Doc, they have screenshots of every hint, and they have the original one that doesn't have the update here. I put them side by side and just looked at them. The only thing I noticed that changed is they said, here it was the 2 puzzles on YouTube Shorts that aren't related to the GIFs. On the updated one, it now just says the 2 puzzles on YouTube and TikTok Shorts that aren't related to the GIFs. So it's just them mentioning their TikTok. I don't really think that that's anything all that important. But just kind of wanted to note that in case anyone was wondering what that update was. Taking a look here at our favorite Google Doc. They have the Q log here, which we'll look at. We've officially reached a halfway point. 25 locations solved. So I know this other website had maybe 23, they're saying. 22. These people say 25. There's some that are still in tow. Could be, could not be, not positive. One of the updates from today, they just said they're not sure about that cache pile one we looked at. Not sure if it's Tashkent as a solution. I definitely wasn't sure about that myself. What else do they have here? Let's just see. We can go through all these just because these have been a pretty good resource for us. So we have the hints, 1-7. 1-7. Where does that come? Where does that lead us to? 1-7. 1.7, right? All together now, the 51st location will be decoded from the other 50 once the list of 50 is complete. We know that for sure. Not much is known about phase 2 other than that exists. Might start with Titanic Hoop, right? That's stuff we were talking about yesterday. What else? The Puzzle Maker solution. 1.3.7. At 6 minutes 19 seconds in the BTS video, a puzzle emoji and Jimmy's Slack message flashes through the 20 numbers. The puzzle maker is Loan Shark Games. If we index into Loan Shark Games, we extract the phrase a home area near Cam Lake. All right, so it's just updated locations that people think they solved. Iraq, we have. What was the update here? I thought it said Iraq. Am I in the wrong one? Solution and explanation. I think that leads to Tampa. What else? Hello Puzzlers, minimal solution, and playlist setup. Oh, I was interested in the playlist setup. What is that? 1.6.1? Probably going to be a more efficient way of moving around here. The Phase Zero playlist was discovered by comments which all began with missing a playlist. Use this one. This is odd phrasing since we wouldn't usually describe a playlist as this one when there is only one. However, if we take the first letters, we get Maputo, which is the capital of Mozambique. Missing a playlist, use this one. Huh. That's interesting. I kind of want to pull up that playlist just to see for myself if that's what it says. I'm assuming that it's obviously right. Where does it actually say use this one? I don't know. Where was I here? Getting lost in the sauce again. So yeah, that was one that we were interested for our hint 6 that kind of set everything up. There was the one that said the one puzzle that sets up the playlist. So they're saying that it's the description of the playlist, and it says missing a playlist, use this one. I mean, it makes sense to me. Definitely not 100% confident in it, but I don't know, I guess that's something we could ask B-Spot as well. The one other change they had here was 1.5.2 minimal solution. Hello Puzzlers. Oh, this was posted on socials. I didn't look at this. I thought this was something unrelated, but I guess stupid of me to just assume that. Listen to this podcast and they got all these puzzles and they found France from that. Wow, I didn't actually know this podcast was going to be part of the thing, but I guess it makes sense that it would be, right? They got a place in France from that. I'm personally not going to go listen to the podcast, but that is super interesting. So that's all the changes that we have here on this Google Doc for today. Like I said, just kind of want to go through everything before we get back to our Beast Travel site, because this is obviously the main, the juice for today. So YouTube comments, like going through those just to see what people are talking about. Let's see what we have here. This guy said, haha, your one viewer is just yourself. You even showed yourself bringing up your own video on your own phone. Yeah, I was very clear about that. I don't think I was trying to hide the fact that I had it up on my phone. But hey, man, listen, it's a grind out here. We're doing all we can. So, you know, I mean, I agree it's funny, but trying my best. This person said, I got the crossword with majority of questions. How can I send it to you? Oh, that I should pull that up as well. How do I not have that link open? So what was it? Loan Shark Games. If you go to the crossword link, the original crossword link on Loan Shark Games, all these are now filled out. We were able to figure these out, or people were able to figure out the whole puzzle with only a percentage of these clues. But if you were skeptical on any of these, we can now go through and we have every single question and every answer, and we can be more concrete about that. So I can give you that link as well, but it was just that original link that we had for that. So thank you to Mindful Veracity for that comment, because that's a good reminder. People looking for links, I'll definitely share those after the stream. This person, Bound to the Future, I looked at this earlier. They said timestamp of 10:20 and the Mr. Beast video 1 versus $10 million job has the tarantula. Just FYI, keep me in mind. I love this comment because it feels like something like a time traveler would say. Like, it's very like I don't know, like they're talking from the future or something. This guy's name is literally Bound to the Future, so he's like, keep me in mind. So I'll keep that in mind. He also said the bank video, I opened a free bank, has happy birds at the end and a jar in the video with the number 3 and a missing chart that can only be partially seen. I don't really know what all that could mean, but I'll definitely keep it in mind if all of a sudden we hear about, you know, a tarantula or any of this other stuff. Maybe this means something to someone else, but doesn't mean a whole lot to me for now. This person said could be a puzzle where you print out each Sudoku puzzle. When you move the puzzles around, it makes a billboard image. It's a cool theory. I don't disagree with that. Seeing the list of how many there are, I think at first in my head there was going to be like 10, 20, 40, 50. Look at the list. I mean, we have 1,000 of them here. So it might be hard to arrange them like this person's saying, but I definitely like the theory. Yeah. So any other comments I wanted to look at? How confident can we be that it won't be solved in February? I would say we have no idea. What I will say is that my own prediction of when it's going to be solved has changed, and I actually do think it's going to be sooner than I originally predicted. So I actually do think it is now going to be in February, but we'll get to that. But we have no idea. We're going off of, you know, Poly Market, what the community thinks, our own guess. We have no idea. No one knows besides Mr. Beast and team. This comment we read, this person said, I love you too. So that's it for YouTube comments. We'll take a look at Discord for right now to see what the buzz is. Let me just take one more sip of my drink. Sorry about that. Like I said, a lot of these Discord servers have been a little dead in the past couple of days, but I think they're starting to pick up, especially with this Beast Travel site that came out. Beast Travel gives way more info than the crossword itself. Maybe you got to solve it. Also, these are interesting. What server am I in, I should say? This is the server we've been looking at. I think this means Oil City. It's an oil can. Sick minus K, like would be the Si, and then T, Oil City. I could see that. I don't know what that would mean. Is Oil City a place, or is that... Let's just say Oil City. City in Pennsylvania. The largest city. So maybe that is something. Oil City, Pennsylvania. Just in case the person's saving these links. Decoded to Home of Peace. I don't know what language this is, but this is where it helps having other people to rely on. I mean, I can see P's being peace. H, this must mean Om. So Home of Peace. And this one is City of Churches, okay? And again, these are all puzzles that people are looking at on this Mr. Beast website. So maybe I should just go through each one of these first before we start seeing what people's theories are. See what my own theories are and kind of take it from there. So Beast Travel, we have our friend Romy here. It says, we're the winning combination for your worldwide vacation. So it doesn't say the winning combination for this puzzle that we're trying to solve, the $1 million prize, but seems like this is going to be important. Maybe it's the final answer. Maybe it gets us to the final answer. It says, we're opening a new stage, stage 2, to our fine organizations. Here is but a sample of our brand new destinations. And there's 3 options here. Trips by car, trips by horses, trips by horse, trips by plane. We'll start with trips by car. To get here, you can ride our free bus or hire a car to get each. Okay, so to get here, you can ride our free bus or hire a car to get to each. That's interesting. What do they mean by free bus? Let me just see if people are talking about free bus. I don't know if that's like an actual thing or they're just talking like in theory, like, hey, we're a travel company and we have free bus rides, or if this is like some specific free bus that they're talking about. Either way, we see these cars go by here. I don't know if this means anything to us. The colors of the cars, types of cars. It says, join us in Borrow Dynamics. And it's all capitalized. Oh, don't want to open my email. May have just doxed myself a little bit. Let's see here. Borrow Dynamics means the science of the support and mechanics of bridges. Specialized branch of mechanics focused on the behavior, stability, and structural integrity of heavy structures. So going back to our Beast Travel website, it says join us at Borrow Dynamics. And that has to do with the integrity of heavy structures. And we know that this could mean Oil City. Not necessarily, but it makes sense if it did. Oil City, like collapse. Is there like a building that collapsed there? Experience an economic transition away from being a central hub. Structural collapse. Building collapse. I don't know. I'm just trying to see how this could maybe relate. Oil City. What about just Oil City barodynamics? See what pops up. Based on the search results, it's a company from Colorado. I don't think this is anything we need. Like I said, this clue just came out today. Still have to go through a lot of this stuff, just kind of seeing what pops into the head initially. But this says, see, I keep having to pronounce difficult words. See lovely abulioscope. And we think this is the city of churches, maybe this guy was saying. It definitely is a city with some sort of, I don't know if it's like Vatican City, churches, something like that. Abulioscope. These are all real words that are capitalized. Seems like they could be important or have some puzzle meaning. It's a laboratory instrument used to determine the alcoholic strength of liquids, particularly wine. So that's how you find like the ABV of wine. And see lovely abulioscope. It's like they're saying like that's the name of the city, but what city would be the city of measuring the ABV of wine that also is church city? I don't know. These are really tough. I'm hoping that we get some good theories on this. And I'm wondering, how does this tie in with our 51 cities that we got from the first stage? Maybe this is like giving us an example, sending us to, one location, and then we have to kind of do the same thing using our 50 locations from earlier. I don't know how they're going to tie, but this guy, someone said that this is home of peace, and it says meet at Furfacious. We can see what that means, because I have no idea. Describing something particularly skin that is covered with or composed of small, loose, bran-like scales or scurfy flakes. So like dandruff, eczema would be examples of these. So they're saying meet us at eczema, meet us at dandruff. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know how home of peace could relate to whatever this means. So we'll let the smart people do the work on that, but it's interesting to look at these and try to come up with our own theories. It says beast travel. We've got these places in our triptych. What does triptych mean? Like a trip guide or something? A triptych is a work of art composed of 3 panels that represent a single cohesive theme, or commonly a central image flanked by 2 smaller related scenes. So I guess what they're saying is these places are in our triptych. They're all related. We think you'll love them because they're... What could that mean? Because they're... Did the first one out? To get here, you can ride our free bus or hire a car to get to each. So when I first read this, I thought that was just like to get to each ... But it almost feels like to get to each blank. Because then when you get to this one, it's we think you'll love them because they're blank. So I don't know if we're trying to answer what these blanks are for now. This one is, if Union Bank's piano is Greensville, North Carolina, what is went back to end relics disintegration? And this is something I did look into. What is it called? I know I have the link here. It is called, I'm just going to Google it, 3 words location. This is at least what someone in Discord mentioned as how you find these. I've never used this before. What is it called? It's called what 3 words. I just want to see like what the... It's a geocode system used to identify any location on Earth within 3 meters, 10 feet. And it uses coordinates just with 3 words from the dictionary. So 10 Downing Street in London is identified by slurs. This shark. Probably could use a better example than one that we need slurs for, but it definitely seems like these puzzles are this format, just based on Union Bank's piano. What happens if I type in Union's Bank piano? Excuse me. So it comes up with 3 places or 2 in Maryland, 1 in Michigan. But this is saying Greenville, North Carolina. So let me just type in Greenville. Greenville, NC. Oh, I just had it. Let me do that one more time. Clicking everywhere here. Greenville, Union Banks, Piano. That's what comes up when you type in this location on here. Got too many tabs open. If Union Banks Piano is Greenville, what is went back to end relics disintegration? Central part of romanticism. Okay, essentially burns. When striking zeal, Mike is describing a thing in his hunt. Spirit keeps commercials time advantage. A thing in this hunt with a horse and sheep. Grand mental challenge at start of day prepared like pancakes. These all kind of go right over my head, but I think the point of these is that the answer to this would be 3 words that you would then type into here and it would bring you to a location. Like grand mental challenge at start of day prepared like pancakes. It could be like morning riddle. How do you prepare pancakes? I don't know. Like if it was eggs, it'd be like scrambled, but pancakes like flipped. I don't know. How do you prepare pancakes? And this also has the words at the bottom. So it says vacation at Abernicators, which again, obviously I know what that means, but just in case, I'll look it up and see that it means a specialized long-handled pruning tool used to cut high tree branches. A pole pruner. I don't know why you'd want a vacation there. I don't know why that is in all capital. And then this means a semicircular passage located around the high altar and choir of a church, often connecting to radiating chapels. Again, no idea how this connects to anything. We'll look in Discord to see what people think on these. Most of these don't make any sense to me. Like I said, the one that I could maybe start to guess would be like this one. At start of day, morning, grand mental challenge, riddle, puzzle, prepared like pancakes. How do you prepare? I know I gotta see. How do you prepare pancakes? I mean, this is just gonna give me like fluffy. Word for preparing pancakes. Making, cooking, flipping. I wasn't way off. Flipping, frying, something like that. And I'm sure people have already tried everything that I'm saying. My good guesses and my bad guesses, I'm sure have already been tried. Beast travel. To find these spots would be no stressor. If you think like a, it feels like that's gonna be a rhyme, right? If you think like a something esser. I don't know what it could be. Tryptic, free bus. So maybe these are all rhymes. What rhymes with no stressor? Just see if something obvious comes up. Stressor rhymes with ether. Like these are almost rhymes. I need real rhymes. Dresser, lesser, presser, guesser, compressor. What about presser or guesser? What was the clue again? To find these spots would be no stressor if you think like a something guesser. If you think like a hairdresser. Maybe it's hairdresser. I don't know. What about rhymes with triptych? There can only be so many things that rhyme with triptych. Cryptic. Hieroglyphic. No, that doesn't rhyme. Cryptic would be the obvious one. Elliptic would be the other. Apocalyptic. It has to be one of those 3, you think, right? We think you'll love them because they're cryptic. So maybe it's like cryptic is the middle one here, and then I don't know if this is going to give us 3 answers that we then maybe put into this what 3 words thing. I mean, I could see if that was the case, but then again, they only reference that on this middle one, so I don't know if that's like the whole thing. Got these places in our triptych. To find these spots will be no stressor if you think like a Yeah, I don't know exactly, but again, 3 more locations here. Excuse me. See you at About Sledges. Another word that I know, but I'm gonna go. I gotta start closing all this stuff out because now I just have a million tabs. We have About Sledges, the largest, heaviest hammer used by a smith, often operated with both hands. Of course, I knew what that meant. As a blacksmith myself, I knew what that meant, but for the people at home, I'll look it up. They also said such fun at absquatulate. Learning all types of words. Leave abruptly. It's a humorous English word. Some overthrown dictator who had absquatulated to the USA. And then, so such fun at leave abruptly is what this is saying. I mean, that is counterintuitive. Also, one thing I did want to notice when you click on these codes do pop up. I noticed this earlier. I should have mentioned this. I don't know if they mean anything. G06C, all these locations, every single one, and they're not like the same format either. Some have underscores, uppercase, lowercase, numbers. Yeah, I mean, I guess that they're all 8 characters, right? And then some just have underscores, and then they could be uppercase, lowercase numbers. So I guess they are all the same format in that sense. This one says ectopography, which we all know means the art and technique of arranging typefaces, font styles, and spacing to make written language legible, readable, visually appealing, is a critical component of graphic design. Okay, so again, I don't know how these clues relate to these clues, relate to these clues, relate to our stage 1 stuff. What does the plane say on it? Does it say anything? Goose? Something? Green goose? I tried looking at, so all these look like they're all stuff that you can find on Google Earth, just with these arrows here. It seems like that's literally where they were grabbed from. I tried putting it into Chat GPT. I said, can you find me this on Google Maps? Brought to this place in France. I don't think this is the exact, I looked earlier, it didn't look exactly, so it brought me to this, which is already like, it didn't pick one specific place. And it's got this like lighthouse off to the side here, like off of a curve, so I don't know where that would be, if that's like somewhere around here or something. But it kind of doesn't look like that's the case. This also isn't one where like you can like look around. Like these are just like pictures people posted, so I can't just like drag it and move around here. I guess it lets you go all the way into the water here, but this is just like picture from a boat or something like that. What about what's over here? I don't know. I mean, any point being, I don't know if I was hoping that we could just put it in here and it would tell us exactly where it is. Kind of need Rainbolt. If we got Rainbolt to look at these, the GeoGuessr wizard, I'm sure he could tell us everything we need to know about exactly where these are, the day they were taken, time of day they were taken, all that type of stuff. So someone's got to hit up Rainbolt. Maybe I'll tag him in this video, even though he'll never see it. Sorry, I'm keep needing to take a sip of a drink today. But yeah, I'm gonna tag Rainbolt in this video. No chance he sees it, but if it's even a 0.001%, I'll tag him, and maybe he'll hook us up with these answers. But that's everything that I have out of this website so far. Don't know what you guys have for theories. What you think about Romy and these three clues that seem to be some sort of triptych combined, relating to something. I don't know if these are riddles. I don't know what these words mean, what these word puzzles lead to, if these codes mean anything, but there's something here. We just got it like a couple hours ago, so we still have a lot to dig through. Let's just see what else is going on in Discord. Says this Russia. This might be interesting. IP address. Titanic hoop. See, this is when I see this website pops up. This to me is something that could be fake, because we knew nothing about Beast Travel. As soon as we found out about it, a website popped up. It seems very legit. Titanic hoop we've now been hearing a couple days from people in the community with no avail. We don't know what it means, and let's just see what the it brings you. It's like very low budget website. Anytime we have had a website from Mr. Beast or anything, there like you can see a symbol up in the tab. Someone just threw this together and they're trying to throw people off. I don't even know what they get out of this other than just, like I said, literally throwing people off. I don't think that website means anything. Just got made the other day as well, which just goes to show that like someone was like, oh, I'm gonna mess with people, probably. But who knows? Maybe it could be real. I don't want to rule it out completely. Loan Shark Games, Beast Travel. Did want to mention this, and I don't think I did. Beast Travel. What else do I have over here? Oh, I have any other sites I want to look at? Salesforce. No. This is all stuff I looked at. Okay. We were just looking at, if you look at Loan Shark's website, which is how I got to it. I just googled Beast Travel because I was like, what does this lead to? Beast Travel Loan Shark is what I googled actually, and it comes up Loan Shark Games Beast Travel. loansharkgames.com/Beast Travel. It says 404 page does not exist. I don't know what this could mean, why it's not up, if it's going to be up eventually. I still don't know. I would like if the Beast Travel website was tied to Slackbot or something like that, similar to with the Sudoku website, but it definitely seems like it's legit. It's just interesting. I don't know if this is something to monitor. Maybe in the next day or two they update this site. What else do we have? Going through the Discord. Things have slowed down a little bit. Cicada reference. Swing Witch Elephant. We want the best, not the followers. Going back to 5:30 p.m. People just typing in Beast Travel. Yeah, I tried putting Beast Travel into the Beast bot as well, the Slack bot. I wasn't getting anything good. Let's read this person's theory. I have a theory Mr. Beast is using Time Magazine top leaders to help solve global issues. Alright, I'm not going to get into that. Could be a good theory. Not what I'm looking for right now. Anyone good at cryptics? I need helps. Still working on this. Just want to see if anyone posts anything that we need to look at, but it seems like pretty much everyone's just having the same discussions. Rebus puzzle. Yeah, keep seeing this word rebus. I don't know if that relates at all to our word that we saw. Where was it? No bus? Where did you say the bus thing? Hint 8. No, it was on the Beast Travel website. Yeah. To get here, you can write our free bus, rebus. I don't know. They rhyme, so that could be something with the it could be point us to a type of puzzle. What is a rebus puzzle again? Did we say? I know I looked it up. Rebus. Yeah, literally rebus. Define a puzzle in which words are represented by combinations of pictures and letters. Okay, so that's literally what this is. Pictures and letters. To get here, you can ride our free bus or hire a car to get each rebus. All right, that's what this one is. So then this one, is this cryptic? Is that what that cryptic puzzles? What are cryptic puzzles? And again, you can ask this to Slackbot, but I'm just going to do it quickly here. Puzzle where each clue is a miniature riddle, a direct definition, and a coded wordplay. Yeah, okay, so that's what this is. We've got these places in our triptych. We think you'll love them because they're cryptic. So we have rebus, cryptic. To find these spots will be no stressor if you think like a... Am I stupid? Which one is this? Type of puzzle that rhymes with stressor. I don't know. What type of puzzles are they again? They're like... Oh, GeoGuessr. If you think like a GeoGuessr. If you think like Rainbow, GeoGuessr. Okay. Starting to cook there. Interesting. I still don't know what that means, but at least we now know those 3 riddles, so to speak. I guess that's probably 3 more puzzles that we're supposed to probably need for the final stage. We obviously know Sudoku was important. Now we're also confirming, at least in my eyes, that rebus, cryptic, and geoguesser are going to be important. It seems like maybe we're going to have to look for something in each of these 50 locations from stage 1 and then, solve a bunch of puzzles. I don't know. We'll get into the theory, but just kind of talking on the fly here. Vatican City, a lot of these stuff that we home appease is all stuff that we said or looked at ourselves. Look at this, literally though. Shout out to Jolteon. Y'all are gonna need this fire emoji. Salute. Posted this at 4:16. This person said hint date was out at 4:15. I didn't see anything before this, so within minutes someone had this website, and a bunch of servers had it as well. They probably weren't the first person to find it, but it's just crazy. Love seeing that people have been in here now 162 hours. It's crazy. Just want to look at some other Discord servers as well. This was a Lone Shark Games one that I was telling everybody to join. Channel requests, people just coming up with trips by car, trips by horse, trips by plane. MDP General. I don't know if there's anything specific I want to look in here, but a lot of good conversations happening here, and this is like a growing source. Oh my god, I'm not muted. Thank god I'm not in a call right now, because we've seen I have hot mic'd in some of these calls before. Let's mute up and just see what the conversation is here real quick.
You said trips by car. These would all be in places you can go to by car, right? Or is that not? Or is that like?
I think that locked people into the idea of Pennsylvania.
So some good conversations happening here. As you can see, they're kind of discussing for the locations is our rebus puzzle is going to get you to locations that are on land. We don't know what our starting point is. Maybe the crossword would be like a starting point, but hey, if you wanted to go to this location, could you drive there from, I don't know where we're starting, but could you drive there? Could you go by horse? Could you go by plane? That doesn't make sense though, right? Because if you can go to somewhere by car, you could also go there by horse. I guess maybe horse would be only some specific. I don't know. That was a theory they were working out. I'll let them work that out on their own. Like I said, a lot of good stuff happening in this server. Puzzle Vault tutorial. Shane and AI are ghost. Locations. What 3 words? Union Big Piano. We looked at that. Beast Travel. Having a lot of the same conversations that we're having in here, but another server that if you do have Discord, I would join this one. And then the third other really good one that I've seen is the one from our link that was here, this GitHub link at the bottom or at the top here. They have a server invite, and that brings you to here. They have like some big theories people are working on. These are really fun to look through just because it's fun hearing how people think this all connects. Johnny Cash, I've heard a ton about people thinking stuff with that. How to combine 51 locations, 51 states. Canada's the answer. No, I don't agree with that. People are running some theories here I don't think we know. Beast Travel. People are trying to say that this leads you to a place in Madagascar. Are these the actual... Are these the actual images ones? Okay, yeah, so that's why he thinks that's in Madagascar, that's in St. Pierre, and that's in Russia. Could be. Definitely sounds all right just looking at the pictures. People going through the different cars. It's like Monopoly pieces it almost reminds you of in a way with that one, but I don't know if we have to look at these. The planes, Red Raven, Green Goose, Blue Dragon. Sounds like some Legends of the Hidden Temple themes right here, but I don't know if these are important, but they could be. So it's just nice having people that are keeping track of all this for us. B-Spot, stuff people have put in, answers they've gotten back, basic questions. A lot of really good resources there. So let's just review everything for today. I think we've gone through everything that I wanted to go through for right now. Just take our notes here. Yesterday's notes we had gone through. I don't think we need to go through all that for right now. I kind of want to approach the notes differently today, partly out of boredom, partly out of just changing the way that I kind of talk about this stuff. So say where things stand for now. I say where things stand. welcome to stage 2. We'll say stage 0 told us that we would be looking for locations in stage 1. Stage 1 had us find 51 locations. I'll say 51. Oh, 51 because it might be, could be 50 plus the crossword. Just because he did differentiate them on the hint here. He did say 50 locations and the crossword, so I'll just say could be 50 in the crossword. Other big thing for where things stand for right now, beast.travel. I didn't find this website, but it definitely seems like this is where we want to be looking for right now. So we'll just say new website found after hint number 8. And I don't know, look here for potential clues, find connections, and figure out the meaning of this new website. And then I'm just going to say, don't forget about Sudoku. Just because yesterday it was like Sudoku, 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 and then now he gives us a different clue that has us look elsewhere, and it's like, I don't want to forget what we've already looked at and what we already felt good about. And I'll just say, still seems important because of hint number 7. And where's that website? Let's grab the 1mil website. Just here. Throw that in there. Okay, I think that's what I want to say right now for where things stand. Next, I'm just going to get into predictions. I'm going to say the Beast Travel website may be used in conjunction with our 51 locations from stage 1. As we said earlier with stage 0, I'm going to go back here. We had originally said that the answer was every challenge leads towards a location name somewhere around the world. And when we first looked at that, we were thinking that that's set up for stage 2. Let me just see exactly what he said about it. Stage 0. The 9 playlist puzzles told us that all the puzzle answers in stage 1 are of a certain type. What he didn't say, though, was that it only applies to stage 1. So what I'm going to say, does this imply stage 2 will also have us looking for a location name? I think it's super reasonable to assume that. He literally says every challenge will lead towards that. Yes, he said stage 1, it applied to stage 1, but he didn't say it only applies there. So I'd say that's first prediction I want to say for today. Other things from this hint, where do you say? He mentioned check-in. If you're ready to check in, then the end game is near. Let me copy that over. Sorry about that. And I just want to say, could be looking for a hotel during stage 2? Question mark, because I'm not confident about this. This would allow us to start stage 3, which appears to be the final stage. So, 2 things that I got from this. If you're ready to check in, it seems like check-in implies that you're checking in at a hotel. Maybe you check in for a flight. Not really. I would think hotel. When I hear check-in, I think hotel. So my initial gut was that we're gonna get a hotel out of this, which would still be a location. It would be some hotel. Obviously, in the video, there was like the Barclays Hotel that we looked at. Maybe that is a hotel that we need. But I'm just gonna say could be looking for a hotel, and then I'll also say end game is near. So it's nice to know that the end game is near. It seems like stage 3 will be the last stage. We don't know that to be for certain, but that's at least my guess just based on this language. What else do I want to grab from here? I wanted to grab guesses. So, no, where was the other one? He said this one. Oop. Grab this without the formatting, and I'll say just keep using Slackbot and earn all milestones. Now, I myself said I was gonna start taking my notes entirely in Slackbot, which I am not currently doing. So yes, I'm a hypocrite for saying that, but I do think that it's worth doing as much as you can. For me, I'm gonna kind of still do both. It's way easier to just pull up a Google Doc, slap something in there, than have to log into Slackbot, do a CAPTCHA, have it send you 2 emails, click in, get logged out 10 minutes later, etc., etc. So I'm still going to keep my notes here, but I think we want to keep using it. And definitely, like I've said a million times, earn all milestones. That's how you're going to be ready for stage 2. That's what they're implying, is that using Slackbot is going to let them know that you're ready. How will you be able to prove that you've been using it? In my opinion, it's by earning the milestones, which is sending 100 messages and creating 50 puzzle cards. Next thing I want to say is I think stage 3 will involve a location, kind of what I've been saying up here. Will involve a location, puzzle solving. Specifically, every time I go to type Sudoku, I spell it wrong. Specifically, Sudoku, rebus, cryptic, and GeoGuessr / Google Maps, as well as Slackbot. This is kind of a vague theory, I would say, just in terms of combining all the parts that we have right now. We think it's gonna, or I think it's gonna be a location. We think puzzle solving is involved. We have that Sudoku link we looked at on the Beast Travel. We know that, you know, we have rebus, we have cryptic, and we have GeoGuessr type puzzles. So maybe those are all used towards the final stage, the final puzzle. And then my prediction for as well as Slackbot and or other Salesforce products, just because I have talked about the cloud and other things like that. So my prediction for when the puzzle, or for when this, I don't want to say puzzle because I feel like puzzle, clue, hint, there's so many things that could refer to multiple things. My prediction for when the $1 million prize will be earned is February 24th, but could be as late as March 2nd. Again, these are my opinions. It could go way later than this. It could be solved before this. This is my prediction, and I'll tell you guys why. The first stage of this puzzle that we had took a week. You could argue stage, so this was the start. This was the Super Bowl the 8th. You could argue stage 0 led us into stage 1. Or you could just look at it this all as stage 1. But if you say, hey, started with stage 0, Monday, stage 1, we went the whole week. Here, he reviewed, he gave us the overview of stage 1, and then come Monday, he said stage 2 began. So my guess is that this is 3 stages. Stage 2 will go all this week. By Sunday, we will have kind of an overview of, you know, all the things we figured out this week. He'll organize them and let us know what we're on the right track with. And then Monday would be the start of stage 3. The prize is now live to be solved. All the hints are out there, all the clues are out there, or maybe there's still more to come, but it's possible that someone could actually solve it now. Something like that. Like they have access to, in Slackbot, what they need to solve it. Something like that. So my guess of when the window of when people can start solving it would be is this day, Monday the 23rd. And then in my opinion, once that becomes the case, even if there's still more clues to come, I think like within 24 hours someone would solve at the 24th. Maybe it is a type of thing where we're in stage 3, we still need a couple more clues throughout the week. Come Sunday, he lays it all out for us, and then by Monday, like, the puzzle's solved. I think beyond here, it would be, if it were to go beyond the 2nd, I would be surprised at this point. I do think the contest closes like early April, but I feel pretty safe that within, you know, this first week, first few days of March would be the latest it would go. And like I said, my official guess is now the 24th. I was originally thinking a little bit deeper into March, but you know, just with him confirming end stage, that the end game is near, and with the way that the stages have been progressing, I think this is a reasonable prediction. And last thing I'll say will just be community resources. So these are our favorite Google Docs. I just have these up over here. I'm gonna grab them all. Google Doc we like, other Google Doc we like, Discord invite to my favorite server so far, the GitHub link that I've referenced a bunch of times that also has a Discord link invite at the bottom. Yeah, so these should be the main community resources. Obviously we have our Beast Travel, our Sudoku website. That's everything I got for right now, guys. So in a second, I'm just going to farm a YouTube clip where I repeat all this stuff, summarize it for the people, and take it from there. For right now, we're just working on this Beast Travel website. We're looking to see what the next step is. You know, looking for clues, finding connections, figuring out what this all means. To me, I think that maybe I'll just put up here, because I think we did get somewhere just by saying. So we have the trips by car. Can I copy and paste it like this? Trips by car, rebus, trips by horse, cryptic, puzzles, trips by plane, or GeoGuessr slash, let's say, Google Maps puzzles. Yeah, so that's everything that I got for right now. Let me just see. We have this website. We have the 1 mil. And then we just have, let me just open up all these. I think I should have them actually. Mr. Beast files, the Discord link, and the GitHub. Okay. That's everything we got. All right, so now to summarize everything for the people. Let me take a sip of my drink before we do this. Drinking way too much soda, too much caffeine, but we're trying to win $1 million for the people. Monday, February 16th, where things stand with the Mr. Beast $1 million puzzle. Today we got hint number 8, which told us some big news. Let me scroll down. February 16th, welcome to stage 2. We got hint 8 here, which told us about Beast Travel. So we made a lot of progress today. Where things stand, just as a reminder, stage 0 told us that we would be looking for locations in stage 1. Stage 1 had us find 51 locations. I put an asterisk here, could be 50 plus a crossword, just because we thought it was 51 locations, but here he does mention on the hint 8, he says 50 locations and your crossword. So he's differentiating between the two. I'm going to differentiate between the two for now as well until we're positive. Beast Travel, beast.travel, new website that we found. That's literally the URL, beast.travel, related to hint 8. Just found this today. There's 3 tabs on here: trips by car, trips by horse, trips by plane. Things that I've figured out so far just seem to be, so to get here, you can ride our free bus or hire a car to get each rebus. We have rebus puzzles down here. We don't know what these mean. Not positive on the actual interpretation of some of these, but it seems like this is referring to rebus puzzles. Then we just have, for horse, we've got these places in our triptych. We think you'll love them because they're cryptic. We have cryptic puzzles, which we said related to the What 3 Words website. And then we just have trips by plane. To find these spots will be no stressor if you think like a GeoGuessr. So like I said, just look here for potential clues, find connections, figure out the meaning of this new website. I don't know where this website came from. I was hoping that it was going to give it to us from Slackbot or something, but it definitely seems like this is the next step of the puzzle. So take a look, see if you can come up with any theories. And then I also said, don't forget about Sudoku. We talked about it so much on day 7. It seemed really important. Don't want to forget about it. We have our Sudoku website that we talked about that's now spitting out puzzles that all say 271829. I'll just grab that and say, don't know what that means, but all the puzzles now are spitting out the 6-digit code, so that could be important. And this is the link to the website as well. In terms of predictions, my predictions so far, the Beast Travel website may be used in conjunction with our 51 locations from stage 1. As a reminder, stage 0, we said every challenge leads towards a location name somewhere around the world. And Mr. Beast confirmed for stage 1 that this clue did tell us the types of answers for stage 1, but he never said that it was only for stage 1. So my question at this point is, does this imply stage 2 will also have us looking for a location name? I'm not positive, but I'd say that's my best guess at this point, is that every challenge is going to lead us towards a location name. If you're ready to check in, then your end game is near. This was from today's hints. I just said we could be looking for a hotel during stage 2. Check in. The theory would be that this would allow us to start stage 3, which appears to be the final stage. I'm calling this the final stage just because he references the end game. He says it's near. Right after we start stage 2, he says the end game is near. So that to me implies that the next stage is the final one. But obviously we're not positive. I just said, because you're giving us, this is from the hint as well, because you're giving us your guesses and your puzzle cards, we now see you are ready for stage 2. To me, that implies that they see that the milestones have been earned by people, and that's how they know people have been using Slackbot. Whether or not that's true, I just said keep using Slackbot, earn the milestones, make puzzle cards, send messages, use the software. Next, I just said, I think stage 3 will involve a location, as well as puzzle solving, specifically Sudoku, Rebus, Cryptic, and GeoGuessr / Google Maps, as well as Slackbot or other Salesforce products. I know this kind of seems like a general theory. It's maybe not, that pointed, but just kind of combining everything that we have right now, I think all this makes sense. It seems like a lot of this stuff is, there's been emphasis on these specific puzzles. There's been emphasis on finding a location, emphasis on Slackbot, maybe other Salesforce products, the cloud, whatever. So that's my best guess at this point. And then my prediction for when the prize will be earned is February 24th, but could be as late as March 2nd. Again, just looking at the timing of everything, you could look at stage 0 starting on the 8th on Super Bowl Sunday, kind of bringing us into that Monday. Stage 1 then took all week. On Sunday, he summarized it for us, and on today, Monday, we started stage 2. So if that were to continue, you could see on the 22nd him summarizing stage 2 for us, and then on the 23rd, stage 3 starts. If stage 3 is in fact the end game like we're thinking, I could see within 24 hours someone figuring out the final answer. Maybe it follows a similar schedule where it takes all week. Come March 1st, he summarizes everything for us, and then March 2nd, we kind of get like one final hint or one final end game starts, and then that, within 24 hours, I'll say March 3rd, within 24 hours, I think someone would solve it. But again, this contest does extend all the way to April, so it could take more time. There's no guarantee that it's going to be solved anytime soon. I was originally thinking it would extend a little bit deeper into March. Now I'm actually thinking it could be solved, within the next week potentially, which is crazy if that's the case. And then I just threw some community resources down here if anyone is looking for them. We have our favorite Google Doc here, another one that we really like. That's the same one. We have, where is it? Right here. Another one that we really like. right here. And then we also have a Discord invite to a server I really like, as well as this GitHub website with all the locations. And they have their own Discord server as well. A lot of good resources in here. All the Sudoku puzzles that we were talking about, 1,000 of them uploaded here, so you can compare them, look for similarities, look if one part of it is the same in each, or one thing carries throughout. So really good resources here. If anyone wants these, let me know. But that's where things stand for right now. As soon as we get any more type of hints, as soon as I have any more theories for you guys, I will be back. Rest assured, I'll be looking at this every day until we solve it, until someone wins. So best of luck to everyone, and I will see